Hello and welcome to today's video, which is all about, well, today we're going to do a celebrity human design reading deep dive on Cardi B because I love her. I think she's very, very entertaining, very clever, and there's a lot of stuff that's going on at the moment as I record this. In the media, she's in a trial. There's a security guard that is suing her for a lot of money, and so she's showing up a lot on my TikTok and on my social media, and I think she's brilliant. So I just thought, you know what, let's do her human design chart. I'm joined today by Rudy, otherwise known as Rudy Trudeau Roodles, because there's actually a dachshund outside our window on the street that we live that's making a lot of noise, and he's triggering Rudy. So every time he barks, Rudy does a little bark. So I thought I'd come and bring him on my knee. And it's been a while since he's made a guest appearance on YouTube, so I'm bringing him on. So let's do Cardi B. I've got my cup of tea. So British. Cup of tea. You have a cup of tea as well. Let's have a cup of tea. Lovely. My partner Kev's just made that for me. And let's deep dive into Cardi B's human design chart. So, well, first of all, we're on YouTube, so please like and subscribe and comment to this video. I'm currently on the way, as I'm recording this, to 2,000 subscribers. It's going to be absolutely amazing when we get there. So I really appreciate all your love, all your support, all the comments. Please keep them coming. And if there's any body that you would like me to do a human design reading for, if I can find out their birth details, and it's not like someone like Donald Trump, then I will definitely do it. But I am only doing this about people that really, really inspire me. And Cardi B inspires me because, look, this is someone who has really created success through her design on her own terms. It's someone who's very authentic, very genuine. At least I think that she's very authentic and very genuine. That's how she comes across. And definitely when I look at her human design, that's how she comes across. So I'm going to share it with you now. Let me just share my screen with you. Let's deep dive into Cardi B. Okay, so let me put a bit of a caveat here, please. Whenever I do a human design reading for someone who is not personally sharing their birth details with me, I have to go and do a bit of investigation. And actually, there is some people out there that are saying that Cardi B is a generator. I personally think that she's a projector, and for things like this, I really love to use genetic matrix. And I know that genetic matrix have a whole bank of, like, you know, celebrity, like well-known people and their human design charts, not deep diving into them, just giving the chart. And then I put her birth details that was provided on there and put it into my website. And this has come up with the same thing, that she is a projector. And I really trust genetic matrix. I think that they do their research and they are very, very good at what they do. So as far as I'm concerned, she's a projector. But I'm just putting a caveat in there that she has not shared her birth details with me. We know for definite what her date of birth is, and if she was born at a different time of day, she could very likely be a generator. But actually, as I was diving into this, I was like, nah, she's definitely a projector, because that projector bitterness has popped up and reared its head quite a few times throughout her career, and we've actually, you know, witnessed that quite publicly. And I think that that's been really, really cool to witness, because, you know, we always talk about projector success, you know, being at that high vibration, but actually projector bitterness, I don't know, like I experience it because I'm a projector, but I think it can be quite funny at times. Anyway, let's deep dive into her human design. So going on my research and the research from Genetic Matrix, Cardi B is a 4/6 splenic projector. She is actually an energy projector. And the reason that I know that she's an energy projector is that she has got her root defined. So her root center down at the very, very bottom of her chart, the square at the bottom of her chart, is defined, which means that she is an energy projector. It doesn't mean that she has got the energy the same as a generator, manifesting generator, but certainly she will be able to pull that energy through that center, which is related to stress and stress management. She will be able to pull energy from that in order to be able to give her, you know, some sustained energy, but not the same as she would do if she was a sacral being. I'm going to do a very quick whistle tour dive into her human design. I'm not going to go deep down like I do on human design readings. I mean, my human design readings are 2 hours long, and it takes a couple of hours for me to put them together. So that's 4 hours of work. So if you decided that you wanted to come and book a human design reading with me, you can do that. I will put the link below where you can click on there and you can come and book a human design reading with me. With those, we really deep dive, and they're very thorough. This is more for fun, really. I really, really love doing these. And I'm just fascinated by women who have created success. And someone like Cardi B, who might not necessarily have been born with privilege. You know, there's a lot of successful people out there, and they have been born into they've been born into privilege, or they've been born with privilege. And I don't think Cardi B was actually. She's certainly, you know, not been born with a silver spoon in her mouth, as we would say in the UK, but oh my goodness, has she created success for herself. And one of the things that I just wanted to say about her as a projector is she's definitely been invited into things, you know. So let's look at her background. Let's just look at a real kind of like overview of her background. So she was brought up in the Bronx. She was in a gang, and then she left that gang to be a stripper, and she became a stripper because she wanted to financially empower herself. Okay. And then she left that when she was invited into the reality TV show. And then from the reality TV show, she was then invited into the music industry. So this is a really great example of a projector. I don't know whether she was pushing or cajoling. I don't know. I wasn't there at the time. I've no idea whether she was or not. I've never actually watched anything where she said that she was really hustling for it. I mean, she might have done, but actually this is a projector in her pure genius, where actually what she's doing is she's going out there, she's being visible, and she's being invited into things. Also, she has a 4/6 profile. So the 4/6 profile is opportunist role model. So the opportunist gets their opportunities through other people. It's really important for them to have supportive community around them, and they get invited into things and recognized by other people and brought into things by other people. So this is a really good example of that, where what she's obviously done is at every step within her journey to making money and creating success as a projector, is that she has obviously got those opportunities through other people. And I love the way that she has created success on her own terms. Her inner authority is splenic. So that means that she is designed to make decisions in the moment. She's not designed to make decisions with her head. She's designed to make decisions using her spleen, her center for intuition, health, wellness, fear. her spleen is defined, her inner authority is defined. As she gets older, as she becomes more in tune into her body, and I don't know, I don't know if she knows that she needs to use her body as a decision making tool. I don't know, but you can see that she's made these splenic decisions. She's had these splenic hits. Okay, she's very in the moment. She's very, she's very reactive. You can see that she claps back on social media. There was that incident where she threw a microphone into the crowd. Okay, I'm not condoning that. I'm not saying that it was, that was a good thing to do, but like that was an in the moment decision, a split decision that she decided to do that. That is very, very likely that was splenic. That was like a splenic hit, and she was like, fuck it. I'm gonna throw a microphone at your head. Sorry, I'm laughing. I'm laughing because I do actually think that it's funny, even though I do not condone violence. But there is no doubt in my mind, and through looking at her and seeing her operate, that she is a projector, and she's got this splenic hit that comes to her. Her incarnation cross is right angle cross of penetration. This is someone who carries a lot of change and innovation. She carries the energy of change and innovation. She has a very, very intuitive way of seeing things and changing things, and it can be really, really shocking to some people. This is one of the incarnation. That Dashin's blooming barking outside again. Good boy, Rudy, you're not barking back at him. Somebody's decided to bring their Dashin to work and then just lets them go out onto the street and barks at anything that dares to walk by the way. So she has this, so the right angle cross of penetration is quite a shocking incarnation cross. So, some of you might be watching, I would think that you're watching this because you quite like Cardi B, or you're fascinated by her, but there's a lot of people that don't like her. There's a lot of people that I'm sure don't like her, don't resonate with her, but definitely what she does is she shocks, right? I mean, look at some of her music. It's quite shocking to some people. Personally, I love it. And also she's very blunt, isn't she? She's very to the point. Like, she doesn't try and dress herself up in any airs or graces. I personally believe that she's going out there being very, very authentic and expressing herself in a very, very authentic way. And that can be very, very shocking to some people. And yeah, she just gives me that energy of projector. I've been watching a lot of sound bites from her in this trial that she's in, and even though I'm sure, I mean, she's being sued for millions of dollars, so I'm sure it must be quite stressful for her. There's no denying that. I'm sure it's quite stressful for everyone that's involved. But she's been iconic. She's been iconic. She's serving different looks. She's got a different wig on every day. She's being questioned about her wigs. Like whether it's her real hair or not. I mean, why? Why is that even happening? Seriously. But that's what's going on. And she is a true show woman. I really, really love the way that she is holding herself and the way that she's bringing humor to that whole trial. So if we look at her human design chart, she has an open head. So she's, very, she's got lots of ideas and lots of thoughts that are going around in her head. So she'd need to be able to, well, she wouldn't have the capacity really to be able to bring that through herself. But what she would be able to do is be someone that would be great to brainstorm with. So I can imagine that when her and her team of writers and producers, I don't know, I'm not in the music industry, you know, I'm just kind of guessing that's who she would be in with when she's writing songs and creating in that creation mode in the music studio, that she would be an incredible person to be around in terms of ideas and inspiration, you know, so like helping others, like being a good person to brainstorm with. You know, I always use the example of my partner Kev. He's got an open head, and you've probably heard me say this before, if you've watched any of my other videos. My head and Ashna is defined, and Kev, my partner, his head and Ashna is open, or undefined, and I can be really, really stuck on something, and sometimes it just takes Kev coming into the room. He doesn't even have to say anything. He just needs to be in my presence, and then all of a sudden, like, more ideas flood in. And I know it's because I'm tapping into his undefined head center. So she would be able to bring that to the party as well. She has got a completely open spleen. So it must be, you know, she really needs to be able to manage her energy. And look, I don't know if human design has reached her yet. If you know Cardi B, please let her know that she's a projector and she's not designed to work hard. She's not designed to hustle, and she can actually get herself burnt out if she works too hard. She doesn't strike me as someone who is like go, but you don't know. So it's really important for her to be able to manage her energy, because her sacral is completely open, and so is her emotional solar plexus as well, which might be another reason for her emotional outbursts, because she is very impacted by other people in the room who have defined solar plexus. And so all these people in the world that have defined solar plexus, that have this roller coaster of emotions that go up and down, what she's doing is she's bringing in their energy and she's amplifying it. So therefore, she can be really impacted by other people's emotions. So if she's around someone that's angry, she will amplify that and be angrier. You know, she's around someone that's sad, she'll be around someone, she'll amplify that and be even sadder. And this is why I love human design, because what it does is it helps us to be aware of that. There's no changing that. That's always what she'll be like. But if Cardi B was aware of her human design, she would know that actually that's not her emotion. All that she's doing is bringing in the emotion from someone else or other people in that room and amplifying it. And all she needs to do really is leave the room. I mean, I know it's difficult if she's on stage and she's about to throw a microphone at someone. Probably she's not going to leave the stage because she's performing. But if she was in a room, then she'd just be able to walk out of that room, and yeah, she would probably not feel that anymore, because she's not bringing in their energy, so she can just hand it back to them. She also has an undefined heart, so you know, there's some healing to be done there about her own self-worth, and willpower as well. Her defined centers, though, are just, you know, incredible. She has this wonderful defined ashna and throat, and her G center, so she's able to kind of like, you know, to conceptualize her ideas and manifest them, like conceptualize those and manifest them into the world. Obviously her throat is defined, so of course people listen to her. That's what's made her, you know, so successful in the music industry, on Instagram, on TV shows. You know, people like to listen to what she has to say. I would personally encourage her to experiment with her throat center and just wait to be invited in to speak and see where, you know, if that would impact maybe her authority even more, that more people would actually listen to her. And it'll be interesting actually when she steps into her role 6 of her human design profile, so her role model. So I think she's about 32 now as I'm recording this video. So it's been well documented from her that she's made a lot of mistakes in her life, and that is what she's designed to do from birth really until 30. You know, she's basically a line 3, so she's designed to go out there and throw herself at life and make these mistakes. And please don't come at me in the comments because I'm talking about mistakes. Because that's what they are. And we need to stop looking at mistakes as a bad word. It's not a bad word. Line 3s are designed to make these mistakes and learn from them, and that's what she was doing as a line 3. And now she is what we call in human design on the roof of life. So she will have kind of like come away a little bit from that life, not be so hugely involved in the life that she was in her teenage years and her 20s, and she'll be kind of like licking her wounds and contemplating maybe on her mistakes. She's a mama, I think she's got 3 children, hasn't she? So obviously she'll be in her mama era, I would think, as well, raising her babies, and you know, still continuing to create success, but maybe in a different way now. And in a different way to when she was, you know, free and young and easy and no kids, right? Because I would think that life would be looking very different to her now, for her now. But when she hits 50, she's going to be coming and sliding off the roof of life. And I'd really love to see Cardi B in her role model era, because I really admire her honesty and just the way that she expresses herself. I think that she will be a really, really good role model, and she'll talk about the things and stand up and advocate for the things that are really, really important, especially for her as an Afro-Latina woman living in America. Who knows what America's going to look like then? Who knows if she's going to be in America then? I'd like to think that we will be more into the Aquarian age by then, and there'll be a lot more compassionate, people being compassionate and collaborative in the world then, but who knows? So I would love to see her in her role model era and see what she brings into that. There's a few other things that I wrote down here that, oh, and can I just say that Cardi B has been one of the most commercially successful female rappers of all time. I mean, hello, she is very, very, very successful. And she has been very successful as a projector, regardless of whether she knows she's a projector or not. She has created success, and that's where she is designed to be, in that highest vibration of success. Just a few things that came out from her channel. She's got the channel of perfected form. This is all about living authentically, living in alignment. I personally believe that she's doing that. She also has the channel of curiosity, which is also about storytelling, and that definitely comes out, you know, when she became successful, didn't she, on Instagram? So she had this huge following on Instagram, and she was creating these funny videos and vines and things like that. And then that's when she was invited into the TV show, and that's when she was invited into the music industry. So there's a lot of storytelling there. There's a lot of storytelling that comes out in her music. She also has the channel of structuring, which is all about insights and breakthroughs, and she's definitely had many of those throughout her life. And you know, if you listen to her music as well through her storytelling, you know, she's talking about like making breakthroughs, and she's created breakthroughs within her life. She's actively created those for herself, because she could have stayed, you know, I'm sure she would have created a wonderful life for herself and been happy, you know, staying where she was brought up. I don't know. I can't go back into the past and predict what would have happened to her if she hadn't have created success. But she hasn't done that. She's decided that she wants to create success and fame for herself, and created, you know, wealth off the back of that. and a celebrity status, and she talks quite openly about how she's done that, and that's one of the reasons that I really admire her. And then she also has, surprise surprise, this channel of struggle, which of course we all know. You know, she tells about her stories of of struggle, and that in itself brings challenges. That also aligns to the fact that up until she was 30 she was a line 3, but she has a lot of resilience. And you know, her story of going from poverty to stripping to success, from poverty to stripping to success, that would make a good talk title, wouldn't it? She wants to go out there and do a TED talk. She could call it that. Okay, so that is Cardi B. Let me just bring the little Rudels back onto camera for you. You've been you've been a good boy, haven't you? On my knee, listening to all of that. So I'd love to know your thoughts below, your comments. Who would you like me to do a human design reading on? I would love to know. And again, please like and subscribe and comment, and I will see you soon.